Marketing is not saying 100 different things. It's saying one thing 100 different times. It's not braggy to say, oh my gosh, my last client loved his video. Here's a snippet. That's not bragging. That's letting people know so that they can get something they love too.
Now I have a good excuse to reach out to people that I don't know and say, instead of like, I want to pitch my services to you, like, yeah, like, hey, this is the work that I do. Here's a tool that we created to help businesses know what video they need, or what are the 5 red flags when hiring a video person.
Saying, hey, I'm thinking about creating a package about ABC. What do you think is missing? And then they reply, or you can even, say like, what do you think is missing? D or E? See how many people click on D versus E. The next email, okay, everybody said D was missing. I'm definitely adding it to the package. No extra cost. Thank you so much for being a part of this, right? So you're not guessing.
On today's episode, we talk about why building an email list isn't just a nice to have, it's a lifeline for service-based video businesses, and one that you need to know about. You're gonna learn how to stop guessing what your clients want and use email to actually ask them. And finally, you'll learn the simple mindset shift that turns your email list from a chore into a money-making machine. Cha-ching. What is up, my friend? Hey, welcome to the Grow Your Video Business Show. I'm your Oh yeah, I guess I could say I'm your podcast host. I was going to say I'm your podcast. I am not your podcast. This is where we talk about helping you build a profitable, thriving, fun video business without burning out. I am Ryan Coral, and if you've ever thought email marketing feels spammy and awkward and outdated, today's guest is about to blow your mind and make you laugh in the process. And also just know that I don't just have Liz on the show because she's amazing and she has a cool topic, email marketing. I practice email marketing in multiple businesses that I run, and it has been, it has multiplied my business, money, profit, the things. So Liz Wilcox joins me. She is the self-proclaimed fresh princess of email marketing. She's got wild energy, brilliant strategies, and somehow makes talking about email feel like a party. You're going to walk away with a ton of ideas and probably a couple of new catchphrases. If this episode is interesting to you, let me know. And like, if you're thinking, yeah, I really want to do email, sign up to her free stuff. She shares gold. And if you have more questions, if you're on my list, then you see my emails. And somebody just told me the other day, they're like, dude, your email is like, in the world of like video production and filmmaking, it's like the best email that I get. So thank you for that. That was an awesome compliment. It's powerful. It works. Before we dive in, I've got a free resource for you that ties in perfectly with this episode. It is called the Video Blueprint Starter Kit, and this is a guide to help you plan, pitch, and create videos that actually convert for your clients. Think of it as your shortcut to more clarity, more confidence, better fit clients, bigger budget projects, better end results. This is something that I've been doing in my own business for the last 9 years. This process, I want to gift this to you. You can grab it now at studiosherpas.com/blueprints, or you can hit the link in the show notes, and it'll be great. So thank you for being here. Again, studiosherpas.com/blueprint. Check that out, and let's get into today's episode with Liz. Here we go. What is up, my friend? Hey, welcome to another episode of the show. Today with me, I'm super excited about my guests. I'm always excited about all of my guests, so I just say that because I say that, but I am exceptionally excited to have Liz Wilcox, who is the fresh princess of email marketing, with us today. Liz, welcome to the show.
Do we believe Ryan when he says he's super excited, exceptionally excited? I'm going to choose to believe Ryan. Hey, friends. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me, Ryan. Thanks for listening. I don't know what you're doing. Maybe you're going for a walk. Maybe you're doing the dishes, but maybe you clicked on this like, oh, I need to do email, but I promise we're going to have some fun today.
We are going to have some fun. And I think it's the blessing and the curse of being a person who's like mostly energetic, positive, had like outlook on life or whatever. I'm just like, I'm always excited. So yeah, people are like, okay, are you really excited, or is this exceptionally excited? But I am. I'm pumped.
I'm excited too. And I believe I am another person that is just, I'm single, y'all. So going off topic already, like sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I'm easily impressed. Like I am like always ready. Oh my gosh, we're going to the beach. Like, when literally I'm looking out my window, I can see the water right now. Like, oh my gosh, there's a cardinal. Look at the cardinal. Like I'm always excited. I love life. So, for better or worse, sometimes people think, I'm just excited, but I am. That's how I wake up. So Ryan and I, we're going to jam out today.
That's right.
Come along with us.
So the princess of email marketing, I'm a filmmaker, I own a video production business. What in the world? I just think back when I first started my business, the last thing on my mind would have been having an email list. I'm like, I need to grow my business. I need to get better gear. I need to learn more about how to tell better stories and all of these different things. Can a service-based video production business, can that person or that team benefit from having some type of email marketing strategy?
Absolutely, y'all. You need. Okay, but what you really need is to make money.
Mm-hmm.
What you really need is food in the fridge. What you really need, is all those bills paid, and you really need to not be stressed. Because if you are at a client shoot and you're stressed because this client shoot is going to be over soon and you don't have another one lined up, how good are you going to be that day, that week, right? So that's where the email list comes in, because especially, Ryan and I were talking before we hit record, and we were saying, like sometimes when you're just starting out or even a few years in, it can be hard to charge those prices, to say, yep, this is 10,000. Yep. Oh, you want me to travel? Okay, it's going to be 20,000, right? Like that's hard. But when you have this email list, when you're building up these potential clients, you can take solace in the fact that these people are interested in you, and you can email them on a semi-regular basis, telling them, oh, I just got this new camera. Oh, I just did this shoot, right? Oh, here's what a past client said about me. So you're letting the emails do the selling for you. So when you get on a sales call or they stop by or whatever, they've already seen these things. So building an email list from, day one or from today is really, really important, because it's going to help do a lot of that heavy lifting for you. Imagine sending out an email after that client shoot and saying like, hey, this went well. They told me I could share, this little clip with you. If you want a clip like this, holler back, right? If you had a list of people you could do that for, that would be so much easier than this feast or famine. Gosh, I hope somebody refers me today that you might be going through right now.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So I just thought of this as you were talking about that. So fast forward, when I first started, like email list, that sounds really dumb. Okay. Not on the radar. 20 years later, we went on a cruise over spring break, and it was the last night, and I can't remember. My daughter was playing. I took her up to the arcade, and I stepped outside. I don't know where she was at. Where was she when this happened? But this guy, she was with me. This guy comes up to me. He's like, Ryan? And the joke is always like, okay, who's Ryan going to run into that he knows, when we're wherever? And I was surprised. I was a little surprised. I'm like, oh man, I didn't see anybody that I knew. The last night, this guy comes up to me. He's like, Ryan. I'm like, hey, you? He's like, Adam. I'm like, oh, dude, what's up? And I totally remembered. I'm like, this is a guy who I've invited to breakfast at my studio. He used to work at this agency. I don't know if he's still at this agency. He's like, this is so weird that you're here. He's like, I got your email this morning. And I was like, oh, yeah. And he's laughing. We're both laughing. But the beauty of top of mind, I mean, there is something that is So, and this is why we talk about social media being important, email marketing, kind of one of these opportunities to be top of mind. And so here I am, 1,000 miles away from home or whatever, and running into this person that's like, oh yeah, I got your email. I didn't write the email that day. I had written it some months. I don't know when I wrote it, but it was part of our automation and whatever. Talk about just your experience and seeing how has it worked? Like, convince a filmmaker, yeah, okay, this sounds good to have some predictability in my business, but like, I don't even, I just started my business 2 years ago. I've got like 15 clients. I guess I have their email addresses, but I don't have like, 100 or 1,000. Like, how many people do I need on an email list, and where do I start? And okay, I'll stop with the questions.
Yeah. So I want to just state, like, what Ryan said is so important. So don't forget, it's that top of mind, right? People do not buy when you sell something. They buy when they're ready, right? Adam maybe wasn't ready when Ryan first met him, but one day, okay, yes, I'm ready for the shoot. I'm going to come into the studio, right? I met a guy on an airplane. He does video production. His name was Micaiah. And I said, oh my gosh, one day I have this vision, And I was talking to him. But guess what? I don't know Micaiah. I met him on an airplane. If he would have gotten my email address, he could be emailing me. Maybe when Black Friday comes around and I get an influx of cash, I want him to fly out from Atlanta to my house now that I have this beautiful studio and do my video brand story, right? But Micaiah, he let the boat, float away, so to speak, right? So people don't buy when you sell, they buy when you're ready. So as far as starting your email list, it can be as simple as, telling those clients, hey, I'm going to put you on this email list. I'm going to email you with your type of business. Once a month is good, right? Even having that automation, like Ryan talked about, I'd love for him to explain a little bit about what he does too, of, like, hey, once a month, this is top of mind. Do you want to do your brand video? Do you want to do this? Are you getting married? Like whatever your thing is, right? And saying, I've got one opening. I've got 3 openings. Here's what people are saying. Here's some of my recent work, just that kind of stuff to stay top of mind. So starting with those current clients, you can even ask your clients, do you know anyone that needs this? If you're feeling froggy, you can create something called a lead magnet, right? Thinking about where you're going with your future clients. What's something that they need right away to get moving or to sort of move them closer to booking you? That's the lead magnet. I teach email marketing. The first thing I teach is a welcome sequence. My lead magnet's a welcome sequence. Ryan, do you have a lead magnet?
Probably more than I want to admit. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm interested to hear, what is it?
We've got, currently, we have a gear list. So, if you want to DIY, you're not ready to hire Ryan and his team. Here's our gear list. I've got, I've been interviewing people for 20 plus years. So I know the questions to ask to evoke emotion and to really kind of get to the heart and soul of a brand. So I offer, hey, if you're starting a podcast or you're going to interview people on your team for a video that you guys are doing internally or externally or whatever, and you want to grab my best list of questions, go download them here. So these, in my mind, what I'm trying to do is equip them with some of the things that they need, so that they can start doing the thing or continue doing the thing. And the right client is going to get frustrated and feel like, I can't, we're watching Ryan's brand video and this person's crying that's on the thing. And then I'm asking questions and I sound like a robot when I'm asking my boss the questions. This isn't working. Where do we turn? Oh, well, Ryan, he's the only one that we're on, his list. He does good. He's kind of talked about some of the wins that he's helped his clients get with some of these brand videos. And so we're going to call Ryan. That's what I've learned over the years from people like you, to say, get them into your list, help them, give them some kind of win. The right client, there might be plenty of people that are going to do video on their own. Those aren't my clients. It's the ones that want more information. They want to find somebody they can trust. And in my experience, the people I trust the most are the people I'm learning from. Right? The people I'm kind of hanging out with and podcast, YouTube, whatever. So
Right. Well, there's your case study, y'all. Like it's perfect, perfect, perfect. So definitely getting some sort of lead magnet and, maybe you don't do brand stories, maybe you do something else, but thinking about what is that thing maybe if they're gonna DIY or just, start out that they need. And then of course using subsequent emails after that to say like, hey, didn't work out quite like you thought, hire me instead, right? So that's where that automation, that nurture sequence, or even if you don't have it automated, just sending emails once a month that say, hey, here's my tips. But if you just want me to do it for you, bada bing, bada boom, here's the link.
And do you have are there any softwares off the top of your mind that are good tools to think about?
Yeah. So for email marketing, you need an email service provider, something that's going to hold all those emails for you, going to create a landing page, like let's say you're at an event, oh, join my email list. Here's the landing page. You can just sign up, you hand them your phone, whatever. So that's called an email service provider. And I use something called kit.com. It's super simple. They have a free version that would actually be perfect for videographers and businesses like that, because it allows you to send one automated email, which would be that welcome. Hey, you've joined. Here's what you're going to learn. Here's your little freebie. And then from there, you're sending the monthly-ish emails, to move them closer to booking with you. You could also use something called Flowdesk. That's another one that people really like, especially people that have an aesthetic, right? Because Flowdesk is very visually appealing. It's not for me, but it's for a lot. I know I was just at a food blogger event speaking, and everybody used Flowdesk because it's so beautiful. So if you feel like, oh, I have to have a beautiful email, you might try Flowdesk. I believe it's also like one low cost. I don't know. It's like free up to a certain amount or something. So that might be appealing to you. So I would try Kit, Flowdesk, and I think MailerLite. Not my favorite, but as far as costs, it's great and it's better. It's like one of the OGs. So those are my top 3 for you.
Having a lead magnet that creates some type of value. Okay, let's just both, Liz, back me up here. But having something on your website that just says, subscribe to my email newsletter. I always tell people don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yeah. Unless you're Oprah, who cares about your newsletter, right? Y'all, I've been on national TV, international TV, actually. Nobody cares about my newsletter. What's in it for them, right? Nobody cares that you're carrying around a camera. They care about what you can do with that camera for them, right? They don't care about the camera, the gear. They just is it gonna look good, Ryan? Is it gonna look good, Shahara? Right? And so thinking about it from that perspective, sure, you might pick up, somebody who's really into it. But having a lead magnet or a reason for them to join in itself is so much better than just, hey, join my newsletter at the bottom of your website. But I do love that Ryan brought up, having it on your website. Because a lot of us service providers were like, book a call, book a call, book a call, right? But y'all, I say it with love. I say it with love. You are not eBay. You are not Amazon.com. I'm not coming to your website to purchase.
Not yet.
I'm not,
right. Yeah.
Not yet. I'm not coming to your website to purchase. I'm coming to peruse. It's like a billboard. It's a business card. Hey, can I see some samples here? Oh, does the image line up with the price, right? And then you got to give me a little, instead of me clicking out, if you have that lead magnet to incentivize, maybe I join, like Micaiah on the airplane. He should have incentivized me to, keep him around, right? So that's what the lead magnet does on your homepage. Sure, you can have book a call, whatever, but make sure at least 1 or 2 places on that homepage or about page, you're putting, hey, I've got this checklist, I've got this DIY, whatever, so that you can pick up those eyeballs and use the emails to move them closer to being solution aware and buying.
Email signature has also been a good spot where it's just like a automatic PS in every email that goes out to, if I'm emailing potential clients or whatever, it's like, PS, like, access our, 3 videos that every business should have. It's like, oh shoot. I was just thinking about this one. Now Ryan's saying, or like, 10 ways to repurpose your brand video, into, it's like, oh, okay. Like teach me, because if you can help people believe that thing, then it's like, wow, you went from somebody thinking about one video with you to potentially 10, or they're definitely seeing that you solve many problems, not just one problem. And so email signature, bottom of your website, top of your, we will do a secondary call to action, like watch our story, or, download our guide or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt Ryan because I just came up with a
Please.
good idea.
Yes. Give me a good idea. I'm
He
taking
was
notes.
saying, the 3 ways, whatever, like even a lead magnet that's like, 5 red flags to avoid when hiring a videographer, when hiring whatever. That's going to pick up somebody who's much closer to buying already, right? Oh yeah, I am thinking of hiring. What red flags? I didn't even think about that. But yeah, of course there's going to be download, say less, right? And so that's going to be really good. And it's going to be a potential customer that's even closer to, buying, because they're intrigued. Oh yeah, red flags. I am kind of thinking about it. Let me get those to make sure when I do, I can avoid that. So you're welcome.
The beautiful part in that is just make sure that when you're making that list, you're not putting in things that, are used. So like I would not say, hey, don't hire a video person who's goofy, kind of sarcastic, might push back on your ideas, because then they're not going to hire. If they do hire me, they're going to be surprised and annoyed. So you have the opportunity when you create those red flags to make it not you. Think about the things that you are good at and the way that you do show up and the way that clients compliment you. What are those things? And you want to highlight those, because that's that will help you find more aligned clients.
Yes,
and
because
that's what we all want.
y'all, I mean, raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but like, how many times have you just taken a client and you knew like, this is going to be torture, but you're like, I kind of need the money, right? Like, I've been there, I've done that. And so, a lead magnet like that, you can make it so, like Ryan said, you're aligning yourself with the right people.
I love that. Okay, so we're talking about the importance. We're giving a tool that will help build an email list. So not only we're going to reach out to our clients, or when we're sitting next to a Liz on an airplane saying like, hey, do you know the 5 red flags? Oh, you should totally get, here's the thing. What are some other ways that people can grow their email list? Because here's the thing, this as well as I, when you're the only owner, the only operator in the business, you're wearing all the hats. In video, we're planning, we're shooting, we're editing, we're trying to stay on top of our books and all of the things. So where am I going to find time to build my email? What does that even mean? And how can I do that in a way that is going to be effective? What are some tools, or what are some red flags? So thinking about ways to grow it.
Yeah. So when it comes to like, where am I going to find the time to do this, Liz? Well, thinking of it as a money making activity, instead of thinking of it, oh, I got to grow this email list, this lady, fresh princess, whatever garbage, thinking of it like growing your potential client list. That's what your email list is. So just switching your mindset from, oh, it's just another thing. Liz, I'm creating reels on Instagram. I'm doing the things. Like, where am I going to find time to do this? But really, it's that Rolodex of people that might be interested, right? That indicates some level of interest. How exciting would it be to have that potential client list instead of, trying to follow the leads everywhere? So for your type of business, I really recommend doing some local stuff, joining the Chamber of Commerce, something like that. That is worth your time. And you're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You might be growing the email list, but you're growing your network. I always say list building and visibility or brand awareness go hand in hand. It's like, I love the 90s, right? So Mary Kate Ashley Olsen, y'all remember her, right? Tia and Tamara, sister. Like, that's list building and visibility. I know they're different, but I can't tell them apart. The more visible you can become in your community, whether that's in person or online, however you're deciding to grow, the more your list is going to grow, because we already talked about creating that lead magnet, putting it on your website, etc. And so the more you can grow your network, the more you're going to grow that potential client list, that email
Mhm.
list, right? So getting to know people in the chamber. I live next to a small convention center, and I saw the other day they called it like the best baby shower ever. And I know it's just going to be vendors full of baby stuff, right? But the local community is going to come out. I've got friends in their 20s and 30s. They're like, oh, yeah, I can't wait to go. I'm pregnant, da, 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 right? If you were some sort of like newborn videographer or, family videographer or something like that, you might want to go to something like that, right? So making sure in your local community or, in the area, you're paying attention and, trying to find spots like that. And when you go, maximizing the opportunity, not just by like, talking to everyone, but growing that list of
Mhm.
potential clients is really going to help. Something like that you could do in person or online is a giveaway. But don't just give away an iPad or something that everyone wants, right? Give away something that is only going to appeal to the person that's probably going to book you,
Mhm.
right? So for me, if I was going out, I might give away a 30-minute audit of
Yeah.
your email service provider. You might give away, like, oh, I'll come into your space and tell you how the lighting could work, how you could change the lighting to actually, have a videographer come in and, shoot your brand video in your actual office at home, right? Something like that.
Mhm.
Only if I'm thinking about doing that am I going to want to sign up, right? Oh, you're going to check my gear. You're going to come to my house and check my gear list. Yeah, that sounds great, right? Something like that could really, really help you. And then, of course, online, if you're working maybe you're trying to grow with Reels or something, using an automation tool called ManyChat, MANY chat is actually really good. So instead of, you know, uh, comment whatever your captions are right now, use something called ManyChat to get them to comment specific words or emojis that will DM them when I, put the photography emoji in there, the mic emoji, it DMs me your uh landing page, right? It sign up here so that I
Mhm.
get it. That's a great way to grow the list. So don't just create content to create content because that's what you see everyone else doing. Use it as a tool. Don't link in bio. Nobody's going to go to the link in your bio, babe. They are doom scrolling. But they might comment that
Mhm.
emoji, go to their DMs. Oh yeah, I did want to sign up for that and sign up.
Yeah, I love that. I love when I started understanding the value of excuse me, having a lead magnet. I was like, "Oh, this becomes now I have a good excuse to reach out to people that I don't know and say instead of like I want to pitch my services to you, like yeah, like hey, this is the work that I do. Here's a tool that we created to help businesses know what video they need or what are the 5 red flags when hiring a video person or something that is of value. So then I don't feel like this sleazy salesperson. I'm like, hey, I'm reaching out to people in my network because I'm trying to add value. I'm trying to help people make better videos, show up, sell more of their thing. And these are the 3 things or the 5 things that we found over the last 2 years or 20 years in doing this work that have been really, really helpful. Check it out. Let me know if it's helpful. And sorry if you think this is spam, but I really like, I want to be able to help. So having that, I think gave me the freedom of like, okay, no longer do I feel really awkward reaching out to strangers and saying like, hey, hire me. Cause that's what I felt like all I was doing.
Yeah, let's talk about that feeling because I think especially with service providers, especially when we know our product, our service is a little more spendy, right?
Mm,
Well, number one, don't assume you know people's bank accounts. and how
good.
much money they can spend, right? That's something I say,
That's really
whether
good.
somebody's charging $1 or $100,000, everyone's got a
Yeah.
problem. Like, I don't want to ask that. Don't assume you know, right? I look very unassuming. Last year, I spent $30,000 on a PR package. I don't look like I have $30,000. I certainly don't talk like it, right? But, don't assume you know your customer's financial situation, right? Charge what you charge, and that's that. Second, as far as emailing, I don't know what it is. I don't know what corporate has done to us, y'all, but there is something about email that the anxiety is all the way to the
Mhm.
tips of my ears, right? When I think about sending an email that's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I get on a sales call, only $10,000, like something about that, right? But remember that email is consent based. I opt in to hear more from you.
Yeah.
I wanted those red flags. I wanted that checklist, right? I wanted to hear more. And the great thing about why I love email and why it works so well, why it has such a high return on investment. They say for every dollar you spend with email, you can get $40 in return. If you're doing higher ticket packages, you're going to get a lot more than that, right? So it works because it's consent based. I opt in because I'm making that connection because you're not spamming. We all know what spam is, and we all
Yeah.
know we didn't opt in. They stole our email address, they're fishing for it, somebody sold it, whatever, right? But you are not that.
Mhm.
I, Liz Wilcox, signed up to hear more from you, right? So again, don't assume you know their bank accounts, but you can assume that they want to hear more. You can assume that you are serving them, right?
Yeah.
Ryan sending his emails out, he's letting them know, hey, I've got this. I'm good because I've got 20 years of experience. I went to a little small college in downtown Detroit. And, now look at me, mom. My mom would be so proud. Don't you want to
Yeah.
book me? Right?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
person opted in to hear from Ryan, right? That's a consent based thing. We love consent. We do not consent. I mean, technically we do with the terms and conditions, but we're doom scrolling. Oh, what? Have you ever seen one of those reels and you're like, why am I seeing that? That's
Yeah. Yeah.
disturbing. Like, where is this algorithm coming from? Right? We did
Right.
not consent. Social media is showing us what they think we want to see. With
Yeah.
email shows us what we signed up for. So
Yeah.
remember, everyone on your email is signed up to hear more. So just hit send, baby. Oh, I'm getting excited.
She's getting excited. Look out, folks. Um, yeah, I think you make a good distinction there. Do not just take, don't buy a list from somewhere and then add them to your, MailChimp or whatever it is and just think that you can start emailing. You really want you want to create a relationship. And you're basically at that point forcing yourself upon people that have not requested that, and that's why you got to start. You start slow. You start with 2 people on your list, and then you get 5, and then maybe you get 10. It can be it's the same thing. Like if you're going to start a YouTube channel, it takes a while to flex the muscles, exercise the muscles, get comfortable, find your voice, all of that. But you want to do it with people that are giving you their email address so that it really is this opportunity to build trust. And then I would say one of the things that I think I appreciate, and I would say most people probably appreciate so much about you, is how you show up as you. Like, I mean, we don't know each other super well, but the little that I do know, I feel like if we were going to hang out, like you would not be a different person. Like this is the Liz, whether she's recording or not. And that's how you show up. Like that's your website, that's your email copy, that's how you sell stuff. I mean, it's funny. And I'm like, man, I want to be more like that. I'm a goofball too. And when we switched over, actually from the very beginning, we started doing these high-end luxury weddings, I felt like I needed to, at least on the website, show up a certain way. And then when people met me, they're like, "Oh man, you're just like a regular guy. You're cool and funny and kind of quirky and super charming and handsome. And man, I should get married to you." Just kidding, that didn't really happen.
I love that.
But like that's what, and then we branded our corporate brand in 2012, and it was beautiful, but it was too stiff and too corporate-y. And so I've tried reworking that through the years slowly and surely. And email is one of those amazing places where I do get to bring some more personality, and I do get to be more of myself. And especially when you are the only person in your video business, man, you've got to own your personality, because you're not going to get any surprises when you work with Liz. Like, she is who she is. And, don't show up as like some super corporate-y person on your website and in your email. And then when somebody goes to work with you, they're like, wait a second, like, you're super sarcastic and you're kind of fun to hang out. Like, wow, I would not have ever thought that. Help people to hire the kind of person that they want to work with. And I think email is probably a great way to be able to do that.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Especially when you're in this service-based business. Again, you want to work with clients that align with you. You want to be,
Yeah.
y'all work hard. I could not, I just sit here, I just be typing, right? Like, y'all are in the trenches. I mean, knee pads, boom mics. Like, that's just a lot of work that I'm not willing to do. And so you want to be comfortable, right? You don't want to have to be pretending all day, especially if the shoot goes wrong, you're not getting it. Maybe you're doing something outside and you're like, okay, if this lady doesn't stop talking right now, we're going to miss the shot because the sun is going down, right? Like, I'm getting anxious for you, right? If you don't feel comfortable to be yourself, to talk to this client, and work with them, it's, the math ain't mathing, as the cool kids would say, right? Which I'm not one of them, but I'm going to say it anyway, right? So you got to be yourself. And email really is a great way to practice that, to just write like you talk, right? And even if you are high end, people will appreciate that human element. People say, oh, Liz, what's the difference between B2B, like business to business, and B2C, business to consumer? And I'm like, nothing. We're all H to H, human to human. I know a lady that writes the most amazing, personable, and she's very corporate. She works with the United Nations. She works with the CIA. She does data visualization. Could you think of anything more boring? How does she get like those charts you see when the, UDC or the UN, when they publish charts for the public to read, she's the one telling them, your chart sucks. Here's how do you make it so the average American can read it, right? But she writes her emails and she puts pictures of her. She's got 5 kids. She puts pictures of her kids. She talks about her journey with finding out her son is autistic, but she's working with the UN. She says most of the people on my email list have a .gov address, so are in the government, getting these to their government computer. And she's like, hey, I'm Anne, and but she is the top person in her field. No one does it better than her. No one is more booked. She just went to South Africa to speak. She travels the world, but they say, we just love that you are a human. You talk to us like a human. Of course, you're top of mind. We talked about that at the beginning, 30 minutes ago. You're top of mind when we need a speaker, when we need a trainer, when we need to buy a course, we come to you because we know who you are. And, we can see that we want to work with you. And bada bing, bada boom, she's signing, 5-6-figure contracts with countries around the world. So if you think you can't be yourself because your client is too uppity or whatever, I say it with love, maybe reconsider. You can be yourself.
I love that so much. And how refreshing. If you have a .gov email address, there's a pretty good chance that 99.9% of the emails that you're getting are incredibly formal and all feel the same way. And to have somebody who is just like, that's not me. Like, I'm just going to be me. And 90% of those people that are sending the 99% of those emails probably wish that they could be more free, and they wish that they could be like this woman, is my guess. But there's this belief and there's this thought like, no, this is how we need to show up because, government, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, somebody's proven you that's not actually true.
Amen.
In all cases.
Amen.
So you said something earlier. I want you to talk about this. One of the advantages when you have an email list is that you can stop guessing what your clients want. What do you mean by that?
So I teach something called the email staircase. First, you have a follower, then you have a friend, then you have a customer. So when you're getting these people on your email list, turn them into friends, get replies, see what they're clicking on, see what they're engaging. Oh, do they love the picture of me and my kids? Oh, people hit reply and said, oh, that's such a cute picture. Okay, I know they want to know more about me, right? You're not guessing. If you got a bunch that said, "Hey, stick to the script, buddy," then you're working with a bunch of, jagoffs, and you get to decide if that's your thing or not, right? So that's what I mean by getting to know them. Also, being able to have a direct line to those potential. Remember, it's not email addresses; these are potential clients saying, "Hey, I'm thinking about creating a package about ABC. What do you think is missing?" And then they reply, or you can even, say, like, what do you think is missing? D or E? See how many people click on D versus E. The next email, okay, everybody said D was missing. I'm definitely adding it to the package. No extra cost. Thank you so much for being a part of this, right? So you're not guessing like, oh, well, I think I'm going to throw this package together because that's what Ryan's doing. It looks good, right? But your people might need something completely different because you're
Yeah.
on the other side of the country or you're in the UK and
Mhm.
people just do it differently over there, right? So asking, Ryan mentioned earlier, he kind of knows these questions to ask people to invoke emotion, to get that brand story out, to appeal to the people that watch it and the person creating the video, right? And so maybe you take Ryan's questions, but you put some in the email. Like, hey, usually I ask 1, 2, 3 question. Like, what question am I missing? What question do you wish I would ask you if we were doing a video shoot together? You might get some really good replies. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Ryan's questions are good, but my people need this one too, right?
Mhm.
So that's a direct line to those potential leads so that you can craft your packages, your services directly for them. You also know how to talk to them, even the way they reply or the way that oh, I wrote an email like this, everyone clicked on it. I leaned a little bit more into this tone. I know those are the type of people then. Like, for example, I had a travel blog, and y'all, the more sarcastic I got, the more my open rate and my books sold, right? The more people wanted to work with me. The more when I went to an event, the more people showed up, right? They loved that, sarcastic, sassy side of me, right? And so, that's what I did. So you can figure it out by seeing what people respond to, how people are clicking, how people are replying, etc. So you can, if you're like, I don't really know what my voice is, they might
Mhm.
even help you figure that out for yourself as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I also, I love that, you could post those same questions online, but you are really hoping, you need to hope that the algorithm is favoring you in those moments. With email, it's like this person signed up. There's a pretty good chance they're going to see it, whether or not they respond, but you kind of have this like built in, like way better opportunity of somebody that's interested in your thing. And one of the, to instead of launching, okay, I think my clients would want, a brand video, or I think they would want FAQ videos. Instead of guessing, you've got these people who have opted in that they're not committing to anything, but they could give you feedback to like, that sounds like something that would be helpful for my business. Or no, I don't think I would need that. To ask the question, one of the first questions I ask when somebody's on my email list is like, when it comes to video, like what's your biggest frustration or annoyance, or what's the biggest problem that your business is facing that maybe video could solve, maybe not, but like, let me know, because I want to be able to create content. I want to create a video package that would address the biggest frustration that you're experiencing in your video. Dare me. And, let's just see what happens. So then you can get all this data and you could look at all, are there consistencies with what people are saying? And is there a video product? Is there some kind of a solution that you can create and then start offering? And then it becomes super easy to sell, because if more than one person has told you, like, yeah, I don't even know what to say if I was going to do a brand video. I don't know where to start. It's like, oh, well, guess what? We have a workshop where I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions so that we know what questions to ask. We know we're going to start with the end in mind. So when we do your brand video, we know exactly, and you know the answers. Like, you don't have to, it's not homework. This is just like, lives in you. You live and breathe this. So I'm going to settle down. I'm getting excited over here.
Well, I mean, I told you at the beginning, we were going to have some fun. We were going to get excited, y'all. You didn't believe me, but here we are.
Here we are.
I love that so much. Yes to all of it. Get your people involved, get them invested in you, and you invest in them, and it'll be a beautiful thing.
So let's just say, similar to the brand story here, business owners, I don't know, it's whatever. I do the same thing that competitor down. I'll just tell you all our features, and then hopefully you'll hire us. For somebody that's considering, like, okay, this email marketing thing sounds interesting. I have zero list. I have maybe 10 or 20 previous clients. So maybe I have a couple people that might be interested. Now they're on my list. What the heck? Where do I even start? And you talked about emailing once a month. I don't even know what to say. And I don't want to come across as braggy. You have any tools, resources, things that might be helpful for our audience?
Yeah. So okay. I love that Ryan said, I don't want to come across as braggy. So before I tell you to go sign up for my email list to learn more, I want to let y'all know you got to be your own hype man. Y'all ever been or seen like a rap concert, and there's a guy, and everything the main guy says, the other guy repeats. You got to be your own hype man. You got to be the one repeating what you just said. Marketing is not saying 100 different things. It's saying one thing 100 different times. It's not braggy to say, oh my gosh, my last client loved his video. Here's a snippet. That's not bragging. That's letting people know so that they can get something they love too, right? And isn't that serving both of you? So, y'all, don't be afraid. Just brag a little for Liz Wilcox. I would love to see. And then you can tag me on social. Liz, I bragged a little in my email today. I put the testimonial, or, I said I got 20 years of experience, right? So, tag me. I'd love to see it. And if you want to learn more about email marketing, if you want to see, okay, Liz, I'm building my list, what next? You can go directly to lizwilcox.com. In the top right-hand corner, you're going to see a hot pink button. You cannot miss it. It's going to give you an entire welcome sequence already written for you, so that when new potential clients come onto your list, you're going to welcome them in a way that gets them to know you, gets them to know what to expect from these emails, and gets them to know your packages really quick right off the bat. It's also going to give you 3 newsletter samples so you can see what I mean by staying top of mind, investing in your people, all that. And you're also going to get 52 subject lines for well over a year of email ideas, because writing from scratch, it totally sucks. Let me do it for you. LizWilcox.com, hot pink button.
Yeah, love it. Having a guide, my friend, you're listening to this show, hopefully, because there's a party that's like, okay, I think Ryan says some smart things. He also brings in really smart people that say a lot smarter things. So having somebody guide you to say, hey, this works, this doesn't, I've tested that, try this, smartest way. You can always go to ChatGPT and say, give me 52 subject lines or whatever. And that can be helpful. That can be a starter. But to have somebody who's in the trenches that does this work, highly, highly recommend having that person who can also give you like real feedback, not, the computer version, robot version. So I'm a paid sub of Liz's. She puts out really good stuff and really has a heart to teach and to help. So definitely check her stuff out, grab her free stuff, but also consider signing up to her paid stuff, because at the end of the day, and you started us off really well, Liz, like this work is very important. The work of filmmakers, of storytellers is vital and we believe in it. That's why we do it, because we care so deeply. But you can't let the care get in the way of building a sustainable business. They have to just like be holding each other's hands and like doing this together, like care about it, but also care about like doing this 2 years or 5 years from now. And the best way to do that is to build something that is profitable, is build something where there is some predictability. And so you've got to spend some time like bragging about yourself in the least braggy way, but to hopefully help people see how you help people and how you might be able to help them. Liz, actually 2 questions. First one is there like a most popular, what's one of the most popular opened email subject lines?
Most popular email you will ever write, doesn't matter what the subject line is that first welcome email. When I join your list, I'm never more excited. So making sure that subject line is short and to the point, like, hey, here's your, top 5 red flags. Hey, here's that thing you signed up for. Just something really simple, because that's going to be your most opened email of all time, because people are, they want the thing, right? So making sure that subject line, grabs them is really, really important.
Love that. And then how do you want to leave us? How do you want to encourage us today?
Yeah. So something that I always ask myself when I'm at a sticky point, when I'm like, oh, I'm not sure the next right thing. I always ask myself 2 questions. Number 1, what would this look like if it was easy? And sometimes I'm like, well, Liz, it's just not easy. So I got a backup question. What would this look like if it was fun? And between those 2 questions, I usually come up with my next right step that feels good for me and my customers and my clients to move forward. So again, what would this look like if it was easy? What would this look like if it was fun? That's how I make my next right step. And I hope it helps you too.
Love that. Yeah. That's why we vibe. Same. Love that. Thank you. This was so good. Really appreciate you. Thanks for teaching us and just being willing to hang out with us today.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with email. Thanks, friends.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Grow Your Video Business podcast. If you got something out of today's conversation, do me a favor, share it with a friend or post it on your socials. Tag me at Ryan Coral or at Grow Your Video Business. I'd love to know what resonated with you. If you've got a question or takeaway, drop a comment wherever you're listening or watching this. You can also shoot me a message. I read every single one. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more stories, strategies, and behind the scenes insights coming your way to help you build a business that you love. Keep creating, keep sharing your story, and keep showing up. I'm cheering you on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.